Welcome back, everyone, and today we're diving into Charisma Hospital, Medical Simulator, a busy and immersive hospital role-playing game on Roblox created by the group Charisma Digital. In this game, you begin your career treating and diagnosing NPC patients in a crowded hospital environment where your actions matter, checking symptoms, selecting treatments, earning XP, and climbing the ranks from a nurse up through more advanced roles in the hospital hierarchy. While you navigate the hospital corridors, you'll collaborate with other players as staff members, respond to emergencies, perform procedures, and keep the hospital running smoothly under pressure. What makes it especially fun is the real-time feel of walking into patient rooms, using medical tools, tracking progress, and seeing your character evolve as you level up. So as we load in, I'm going to check in at the reception, spot those first patients, run diagnostics, stabilize critical cases, and work toward unlocking the next big role. Let's go and see how high up the ranks we can reach and how fast we can climb in Charisma Hospital Medical Simulator. There's also a lot more detail in Charisma Hospital that really makes it stand out. The environment feels alive, with actively working TVs playing in patient rooms, chairs you can actually sit on, posters and signs placed around the hospital to give it a realistic touch, and tons of little props scattered everywhere that make it feel like a real medical facility. Every corner has something that adds to the atmosphere, from functioning equipment to waiting areas that look just like a real hospital. It's clear that the developers put a lot of effort into every small detail, and what's even better is that there's still more to come in future updates, so the game keeps getting bigger, more detailed, and even more immersive each time you play. As we start treating patients here in Charisma Hospital Medical Simulator, the process feels surprisingly realistic. Every patient that walks through the doors has unique symptoms, and your first job is to check their condition carefully, read their chart, and sometimes send them for lab reports to confirm what's wrong. Once you've got the results, you can begin the proper treatment, whether it's giving medication, applying an ice pack for pain relief, or stabilizing them in a medical bed. There's also a lot of hands-on hospital work to do, changing the patient's gown, replacing the bed linens, and making sure each room is clean and ready for the next person who comes in. The supply room is where you'll find everything you need. It's just like in Maple Hospital, but even more detailed and organized. You can grab gowns, medical tools, IV kits, and ice packs from there, and you really feel like part of a real hospital team keeping everything in order. What's amazing is that this game still has more updates and new features coming soon, so every time you play, there's something new to explore and more ways to experience life as a hospital worker in Roblox. And there's even more detail around the hospital that makes Charisma Hospital. Medical Simulator feels so alive and realistic. You'll notice that everything is interactive. There are working TVs that actually play in the patient rooms, chairs that you can sit on while waiting or talking to patients, and posters all around the hospital walls, giving it that real-life look. Even the hallways have props like water coolers, medical trolleys, and stretchers placed perfectly, which makes the place look super immersive. It's not just an empty map. Every part of the building feels like it has a purpose. Now, one funny thing that happened while I was playing earlier was trying to find the ice packs. For some reason, I just couldn't figure out where they were at first. I checked every room, opened every cabinet, and even went to the emergency department storage, but they were nowhere to be found. It literally took me forever to realize that the ice packs can actually be found near the reception area or right next to it, in the small supply section. Once I finally spotted them sitting there, I felt like I had just completed a side quest or something. It's small things like that that make this game fun, because you actually have to explore the hospital to learn where everything is, and that gives it a really realistic training vibe. After that, I had a patient come in who needed an x-ray. So I did all the checks, looked through the patient's file, and then I had to submit a request to the insurance for approval before we could move forward. I filled out the paperwork and sent it in, and honestly, I was expecting it to get approved quickly. But nope, the insurance rejected it. I double-checked everything thinking maybe I made a mistake in the form, but it was all correct. Since the insurance didn't approve it, I had no choice but to discharge the patient and send them home. It was kind of disappointing because the patient really needed the scan, but it just shows how much detail and realism the developers added into the game. Even the process of getting approval from insurance is included, which you rarely see in Roblox hospital games. After that, I went back to check on the rest of the patients. Some were waiting in the emergency room. Others were lying in beds needing medication or comfort. I made sure the beds had clean linens, gave ice packs to anyone with swelling or pain, and even adjusted the patient's gowns so they were ready for treatment. The attention to detail here is actually impressive. Even simple things like how you open drawers, grab items, and interact with patients feel smooth and realistic. It really gives you that sense of being part of a working hospital. The more I walked around, the more details I started noticing. The hospital lighting changes depending on the area. Some rooms have small posters like "Wash your hands" or "Authorized personnel only," and the computers at the nurse stations have working screens. You can even hear subtle sounds like the air conditioning hum or the faint echo of footsteps in the hallway. There are waiting chairs with magazines, plants in corners, and even vending machines that add to the vibe. I spent a good amount of time just exploring. Went into the staff lounge, checked out the lab rooms, and even peeked into the surgery area. Everything's designed with precision, and what's amazing is that the developers have already said there's more to come in future updates. So this isn't even the full version yet. They're planning to add more tools, new departments, and maybe even working surgeries or ambulance systems later on, which I'm super excited for. And that's pretty much all for today's video on Charisma Hospital Medical Simulator. The game is still in development and currently getting updates, so there's definitely a lot more to come in the future. New tools, new departments, and even more realistic features to explore. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me play and explore the hospital, because I'll be making more videos on this game as it continues to grow and improve. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have an amazing day. Peace out.